All right, they're calling this unprecedented. It's been called one of the most comprehensive surveys ever made of African American opinion, and it has produced some very fascinating results. For instance, when asked how they would like to be described, 44% of those asked said African American, 42% said black, and 11% said they simply don't care. But there is more to this data than just the raw numbers, and we want to go behind this data and get some personal stories about this and bring in Barry Mayo. He is the president of Radio 1, the media group that has authorized this survey, and he joins us now from Washington. Thank you very much for joining us today, sir. Okay, so people said they'd rather be called African American than black, but that's not the most fascinating thing that comes out of this. I want to go about these subgroups that you've done. Yes. Basically, you broke down African Americans in 11 sort of subgroups here. Broadcast blacks, connected black teens, black is better, and then you go on, stretch black straddlers, digital networkers, and boomer blacks. How do they come up with these categories? It seems a little bit different than most surveys I've seen.
Well, Don, first of all, thank you for inviting us. I think the first thing you have to understand is the macro point of this study is that you can't look at black Americans as a monolithic group. We are as diverse as the general market. We went and found the most respectable research company that we could find, Yankelovich, been doing this for 50 years, to do a deep dive into taking a snapshot of the entire black consumer market.
Why did you do this? What you wanted to learn for what?
Well, to understand the answer to that question, you have to understand what Radio 1 is. I mean, Radio 1, most people who are familiar with the company know that we've got 53 radio stations, but many don't know that we've got a cable network, TV One, that we own Giant Magazine, that we have a controlling interest in the Tom Joyner brand.
So you have a huge voice in the black community, and
82 million people. 82%, excuse me, of black America we speak to each week. So
okay.
We felt we needed to know.
But you need to know that, but it's also you're doing this so that that the world can know, and especially African Americans. And I want to go on
absolutely
and talk about this. Let's talk about the future, because some of these statistics are not the exact statistics that we usually hear. Because 70% of black people who you polled said that they have a plan for their future. And 60% said they thought that things were getting better, 54% optimistic about the future, and blacks. Usually you don't hear that Mr. Mayo.
Clearly, if one were to rely on mainstream media, you would not have the true picture of the fact that the majority of African Americans or black Americans are optimistic about the future and have a plan. Even more surprising in this study was the young people, how optimistic they were. And young black executive is how my 19-year-old considers himself. They're saving up for business.
Let's get through some of these because I want to talk education now. Let's talk about education. 34% say they have at least some college. 21% of BA or higher, and almost a third make more than $50,000 a year.
That's correct. Well, the overwhelming, when you think of education, the macro picture, the big story is that 80% of all African Americans, that represents 30 million people,
right,
see education as the future. Okay. That's our way out.
All right, real quickly. Blacks in health. 83% say that they have health insurance, and about half say they have a healthy lifestyle. We always hear problems with health. We were talking to someone yesterday about HIV in the black community. Was this surprising to you? Was this one of the most surprising parts of the study?
I think the fact that 83% of us did, but you know, the study showed our warts also. There's a segment called Family Struggles, and there's a segment called Sick and Stressed. They don't, by and large, have health insurance. So, but 83% do.
Wow. Okay, very interesting stuff that everyone can learn from this, and it'll be interesting to talk further about the results from this and exactly how this plays to your particular audience as well. Okay, Barry Mayo, who is the president of Radio 1, the media group that authorized the study. Thank you for joining us today, sir.
Thank you very much, Don.